Just tell them be upfront, and that's one thing I learned is be upfront. Don't lie about anything, because claims reps are, trust me, they're 10 times smarter than both of us, because that's what they do for a living.
Well, and I think too, like, which Mike's laughing because literally as we were driving up, we were talking about, you came from AAA, a different world, but agents who come out of the captive world, Farmers, State Farm, Allstate, Nationwide, whatever, not to knock any of those companies, but when you have one company to sell, and I guess maybe similar to AAA, it can be tempting to, when you're in the spectrum of white to black and there's a gray in between, saying, oh, well, do you really have that dog? Is that,
Oh, no.
or do you have this or do you have that?
No.
And we were talking about how it's black and white. The
Yes.
facts are the
Yes.
facts.
Yes.
It's
What's going on? Or it
Well,
is.
I tell my clients right away, so please tell me everything that's the truth, because if there's ever a claim, your claim can be denied.
totally.
And then you can't look at me and say, hey, why didn't you tell me? Because I tell you what they're looking for,
Yep.
specific questions they're asking you. Just like that workers' comp question that we were talking about.
Yeah,
When
with the audits,
clients lie about the payroll, the first thing I tell them is, please don't tell me the truth about the payroll. Don't try to hide anything, because when the audit happens, they ask for what you filed. They're going to know. So there's no way to hide what you made or what your payroll was.
And there's two premises that I've always followed, and that is, for one thing, I don't want to get yelled at.
Yeah.
I've had my prior life, I got yelled at all the time. It was insurance claims.
Yeah.
You're always getting yelled at.
Yeah.
And so, like, now I let them know right up front, because I don't want 3 years from now you coming
It's
back
not worth it.
saying
And
this.
at the same time, you're jeopardizing your E&O.
Absolutely.
Because
You're getting in trouble.
so that's why a lot of times it's okay to walk away from business too. And I have, if I feel like, because I've been in the business for a long time now, 15 years.
Yeah.
So if somebody says something that I don't think is the truth, I ask them in 2-3 different ways just to get it out of them. And then they actually end up telling me, hey, no, this is
Well, I
what it
tell
is.
them
I'm like, what's the reason you're getting insurance? Just in case something happens. Now, when something happens and you lied on the application, you're not going to get anything back for it.
Yeah.
So what are you paying all this premium
you
for?
just said what I was about to say.
There's no reason to pay the premium. Otherwise, you
It's
can
not
just...
gonna do you any good anyway.
I mean, it's not the right thing to say, but then you're better off just not having insurance and paying
Right.
that money if you're going to lie, because the truth is going to come out. And I tell my clients one thing all the time, that no matter what you tell me on the application, when there's a claim and you need to report a claim, and as soon as you call the claims department, they ask you the first question, all of the truth will come out right away. So whatever you told me on the application, for example, like excluded drivers.
Yep.
So when I ask you who else lives in the house, you have to tell me who lives in that house, because if that person drives the car, there's an accident, we're going to deny the claim. Because they've been living in the house and we have records, and underwriters can find out how long somebody's been living
And isn't
there.
it kind of...
At least the company I represent, they're all enrolled in real drive mileage program.
Yeah, with Mercury.
Yeah. So it makes it easier for me. So I tell them, what do you think you drive, including commute plus personal usage? So grocery shopping, going to the church, whatnot,
Right.
And give me because I always put like the exact mileage they're using for commute. I figured that out for the whole year. So if it's 6,000, I tell them, how much more do you think you're gonna drive for personal use? They give me a number. And then I tell them, okay, so I'm writing down the exact odometer reading that's on your car right now. The way Mercury does insurance is, before your renewal comes around, they look at the service paperwork to see what the mileage at that time was. So whenever you take your car in for any kind of service, it gets recorded. So from the time that you did the insurance with me till the service, whatever it is, we're going to find out what you're driving. And then that's how they come up with the renewal. So my clients don't complain about that to me afterwards, saying that, hey, why did my premium go up? Because I told them, you told me you're driving 10,000, but it's actually showing me you're driving 14,000, and we have proof. And if you think it's a different story, then let me know. Take a picture of the odometer reading and text it to me, or send it to me, and I'll send it to my underwriters, and they can review it. And a lot of times they send me the mileage, and it actually even backfires on them because it shows they're even driving more, and the service records show they're driving less.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it's interesting because just to your point, I think coming back to what you said right at the very beginning, which we all agree on, I think it's harder for some agents in practices. Just give me the facts, because sometimes those facts, rather than what you think you need to tell me as a customer, will benefit me. Because like when we're seeing like now automated like validated driving, whether it's Mercury, Travelers, Safeco, Nationwide, whatever, there's a number of them that do Carfax, that there are many customers that we would normally say, hey, default your rater to 12,000 miles, but really they're driving 7,000 or less, right? And so it's not about the actual number, it's about the accuracy of the number, right? So that the actuarial data and the product people get the right rate for the right risk. And so many of the agents and consumers have been learned the game of miles over the years, and so I am happy that we do have now validated mileage, because I think we're getting closer to having it be not so much of an issue like you were saying.
And then because what's gonna happen is if you put somebody in the lowest mileage category, after 6 months their price is gonna go up, and they're most likely gonna leave you. Because it's a big difference.
Big difference.
It's a
So do you have like, have you found something that has encouraged your current clients to refer you? Like, do you have a process where you ask for the referrals? Do you like Yelp or different things like that? Or is it just within your community?
Yeah, it's just within my community. That's one thing I need to jump into. Like I said, marketing, Yelp, and all of that. But as soon as I bind a policy, I take their credit card. At the end of the conversation, I always tell them, if you like my service, please refer your friends and family to me. And it works. It's just simple as that. It's how I
just
tell
asking.
them.
Just simply asking.
That's all I ask. And they're like, definitely. And then my clients will text me like within 2-3 weeks, hey, call this person. His renewal's coming up. I told him you had great prices. You offer great prices. So once I got the business, it's bound. That's when I want to move forward and ask them for more business, because until I have their book of business,
Well, it's funny because I met a guy, a younger agent in, of all places, Hershey, Pennsylvania. So the town is like 300,000 people. He had 9,000 clients, and I was like, dude, what are you doing? He's like, we spend a bunch of money on referrals. So we get a referral, we send a gift card out to the people that referred us. But he made a really important point, which was, his name is Doug. He's like, Tony, there's never going to be a time when your customers are happier with you than right when you close the business. They'll never be happy when they're calling you for an ID card. They're never going to be happy when they're checking a bill. There's no time that they're more satisfied. Now, granted, if there's a bad claim and you're available 10 o'clock at night and you provide this unbelievable access and service, but I think you're tapping right into that, which was just asking, and putting it right there at the most satisfied moment.
It's not me saying anything to the claims adjuster, but a lot of times the claims adjuster will talk kind of fast. And you just even if I don't talk in my language, I talk to them in English, but just kind of tell them in basic English words that this is what they're asking you. Most of the times they reply back in English too, but they have broken English, but they at least understand.
Do you find that it takes a lot of time for you to do these
claims
level things?
No, especially with the main company I represent, which is Mercury. Within 15 minutes the max, everything's reported. So I only stay on the phone with them for the first initial call when the claims rep's assistant picks up the phone call. Because what happens is after 24 hours, they get a claims adjuster assigned to them.
And will Mercury have interpreters available for those languages?
Yes, Mercury actually has a Hindi.
Most of them will have an interpreter.
Most of my clients do speak English, but it's sometimes broken English. And some things they might not understand, like a word or two, and that can throw them off completely. So if they don't understand something, I'll even tell them, hey, in English, this is what they're asking you. so the other person knows that, hey, they can pick up
Right.
on it and they can finish it on their own.
And you use that as a sales pitch too?
Yeah, that's how I get most of my
Yeah.
clients, because I always stay, most of the times, the first time people report a claim, I stay on the phone and I tell them, now you know what kind of questions they're gonna ask you, so you're ready
really
for the
good,
future. So the future, they never call me, they just report on themselves. It's the first time they report a claim,
Yeah.
they're really nervous.
But that's also that's a great retention thing. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, if
Because I remember when I first got in an accident, I told my dad what to say, but he's not actually the one that was there.
right.
If I would have just stayed on the phone with the claims rep or my agent and then did a 3-way call, I have a lot of teenage drivers that call me, and the parents are always busy, so they're like, hey, call Mitt, he'll stay on the phone with
Right,
you,
right.
and you can report the claim.
Right.
Yeah.
But after the main questions have been asked by the rep's assistant, so after 24 hours, when the actual claims adjuster calls to confirm if all of this is true, did we miss anything, they know what they're going to be asked already, so they're ready to answer
Right.
those questions on their own. I'm only there to kind of stay on the phone, so if they don't understand anything, and just to give them that comfort. Because it's scary to report a claim for the first time.